Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Post-Gazette breaking down Steelers training camp. I'm Brian Batko, joined by Ray Fittipaldo. No Jerry Dulac today for day 4 of camp, day 3 of practice out here at St. Vincent College in Latrobe. And once again, Ray, kind of the top storyline until we see otherwise. No Russell Wilson yet in full get up for the Steelers. A lot of work after practice still with the guys, but they're being super careful with him. Mike Tomlin said thinks it's, partially because he's still getting to know Russ. Russ is still getting to know them. Are you skeptical at all of that at this point, Ray? Or 3 days in, do you feel like it's no big deal?
Listen, anytime your starting quarterback is injured, it's a big deal. But I think they're doing the right thing. These are unpadded practices, Brian. They don't come out in full pads until Tuesday. I think that's really when you want to have Wilson out there with the starters. And even if it's not next week, even if he has just 1 week of a ramp up before the preseason game, I think that'd be okay. You hate to see something with him prolonged going late into the preseason or even the regular season. So him sitting out now to me isn't a big deal.
And I would say it was another day of Justin Fields doing what he can to seize this opportunity, but far from perfect, far from even sharp yet again, at least in 7 shots, which it's always the first, competitive drill of every practice, offense versus defense at the 2 yard line to work those goal line scenarios. And again, Ray, he's sort of struggling when the field shrinks and he has to make those quick decisions against, albeit one of the elite
Yeah.
defenses in the league, probably.
He has been pressured a lot, both in 7 shots and in team 11 on 11 drills. But just 1 for 4 again today. And the one touchdown he had to Calvin Austin, it was a broken play, and you could have argued he would have been sacked in the backfield. So I would say goal to go situation, something Arthur Smith has to work on. I think obviously once Russ comes back, I think it'll be much better. Justin didn't work with any of these guys in the spring, so this is really his first exposure with the starters for an entire week. And as you would expect, it's been inconsistent.
Well, Ray, I still saw Arthur Smith signing autographs as he walked off the field. So only in Pittsburgh are fans even having the access to get offensive coordinators, offensive assistant coaches. They love them for right now until the first punt of the regular season, maybe even the first punt of the preseason for Arthur Smith. I remember Matt Canada was up here signing autographs once upon a time when everything was good in July and August. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to the quarterback situation, Mike Tomlin reiterated again today, even in his opening statement, Ray, that they have time to take it slow with this, with Russell Wilson's calf tightness. Obviously, that time will become more urgent eventually, like you said, first preseason game on the horizon. But one player who's not trying to waste time up here in camp is rookie 3rd round pick wide receiver Roman Wilson. I thought he
Yeah.
stacked 2 good days in a row, Ray. Doing it in pads will be a different level, especially for somebody like him who's a little bit slight.
Yep.
Certainly not the biggest guy. He's maybe got an inch or two on a Calvin Austin, but frame wise, he's also pretty thin. At least he's getting open out here right now when he should be doing it in shorts.
Yeah, I like that he started fast. The first team period, they started with third down conversions. It was 3rd and 3, and he ran like a little 13-yard out, beat Beanie Bishop, did a little toe tap, and made the catch and stayed in bounds. So that wasn't the only play he made today. We talked with George Pickens after practice today. He said Roman had a really good day. So he was out there making plays all day. As you know, Brian, the way this roster is right now with receiver, they're going to need Roman Wilson to step up and to be a contributor. I don't know that he's going to be the number 2 next to George Pickens, but I think he's almost going to have to be the number 3.
And he was drinking from the fire hose, if you will, in OTAs and minicamp. Receivers coach Zach Kazani was admittedly all over him. Roman Wilson said it was hard coaching, but maybe he's just one of those guys who's kind of a gamer. When the fans are here, much like when he was in the Big Ten at the
Yep.
Big House in Michigan, he made a lot of plays for Jim Harbaugh's offense. I'd say the arrow's pointing up for him, but again, it's early. Uh, Isaac Sayamalo also sat out today. No injury issue, just a maintenance, a vet day for the eldest statesman of the line. It did give a couple of the younger interior linemen a chance to get some more reps for someone like 2nd-year guy Spencer Anderson, a 7th-round pick, double reps with the first and second team. What do you come to the Post-Gazette's YouTube channel for, if not for backup interior line analysis? From Ray Fittipaldo, no less.
Joking around with Spencer after practice. I told him, lucky you weren't in pads today, but he says as many vet stays as Isaac gets off, he's going to be in pads
Yes.
doing double duty some of these days here in the near future.
And I
So,
thought Jalen Warren had a really nice run off of his right hip right toward
he,
the end of team period here.
and I don't know if it's the same play, but Broderick Jones had a false start. They made him run a lap, and Jalen had a big run. Troy Fautano came in and replaced Broderick
Okay, I didn't
Jones.
see
So,
that side of it, but I did see the push that Anderson got again when not everybody's
right.
going 100% full physicality
No
wise.
pads. I think we're, team run drills. I think we're going to pay attention closely to them starting on Tuesday. But yeah, Jalen has been a standout. He's been a standout here in Latrobe ever since he's been a rookie, and his third training camp is no different.
Absolutely. Now, one other injury to note here, uh, fourth, fifth string tight end, whatever you want to call him, Rodney Williams, probably best known for saving Danny Smith from that scrum last year on the sideline. He got some run last year in the regular season, but mostly has been a camp body who at times has shined in Latrobe and in practice. But he had a tough fall on his shoulder today.
Yeah,
Mike Tomlin thinks it's probably an AC joint, maybe a sprain
yeah,
for Rodney Williams. It sounds like it's not quite day to day, maybe going to be a number of days before he returns, but at least through 3 days, Ray, not much on the injury front other
yeah.
than, well, a backup tight end and, of course, QB1.
Yeah, listen, Rodney Williams was elevated to the 53-man roster about midway through last season, mostly for his value on special teams, and he was pretty much a core special teamer out here on a lot of the special teams early in camp. So if he can't get back, that might be an issue for Danny Smith. But that's a pretty deep tight end room. Pat Fryermuth is your starter. Darnell Washington's going to be on this team as your top run blocker, and then you got Connor Hayward, Michael Pruitt, and then Rodney Williams as well. So I don't think all five of those guys are going to make it. But as we saw last year, they found a lot of value in Rodney Williams on special teams.
And the last thing we'll say before we sign off here from Saturday's practice at St. Vincent, first weekend practice of 2024, first hot one under the beating, sweltering sun here in the afternoon. They've been practicing at 10:30 the first couple days. It was Hall of Honor Day here for the Steelers. Inducted a new four-man class. Dick LeBeau, longtime defensive coordinator. Jason Gilden, one of the best pass rushers in franchise history. At one point had the team sack record. Casey Hampton, big snack. Need you say more? And then Fast Willie Parker, who holds the record for longest run in the Super Bowl. Pretty good quartet, I would say, Ray.
Yeah, all
And
of
one
the
that the modern, newer fans who might be watching us on YouTube probably all watched and saw play or coach at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say all of those guys I think were 2000s or late
Yeah.
90s and onward. So, a lot of those guys from the 70s and 80s are already in.
Yeah.
One guy, you do this all the time with Pro Bowlers, right? Who was left out. I think they put Jason Gilden in this year. You got to put Joey Porter in at some point, right? I think Joey Porter is probably going to be on that short list next season. So all those guys are very much worthy of that honor. But I would think Joey is going to come in at some point.
Ben Roethlisberger will be eligible next year as
Yes.
well for the first time. For Ray Fittipaldo, I'm Brian Batko. Thanks to Chris Carter here for filming us, and thanks as always for tuning in to the Post-Gazette's YouTube channel here. It's been another training camp update. Day 3, they've got one more practice tomorrow before they get their first day off of camp on Monday. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.